Also adding to what Kamen said, maintenance. So if you're a technician, how do you repair a vehicle, aircraft? Companies are investing a lot on that. Also design, so these technologies are being used a lot in the design phase, where architecture comes and engineering. So you can show the project to the client. And the biggest advantage of XR, as Kamen alluded to, is that it basically gives the same information to every participant. So you don't have to be an engineer, you don't have to be an architect. Everybody can understand 3D space of a house or a building if they walk through it. So it's great in that case to get alignment from all stakeholders. And this is important not just if you're talking about I'm buying a house and I want everything to be right. If you think about complex projects like airports, hospitals, factories, there are many stakeholders that have nothing to do with architecture engineering. So you have, in a hospital, you have medical staff, administration. You need to get their perspective because they're gonna be the one using the final product. So I think for relaying information, XR is a very, very powerful tool, underutilized, but we see more industry that are actually deploying it in production, and it's not one-offs, it's more continuous. I'll give you just a couple examples. BMW have very strong platform for digital twins, also Jaguar, Land Rover, they're big user of NVIDIA Omniverse. And many architecture firms across America and Europe that we work with too.
Yeah, and just to add on Krasi's thoughts on corporate training, as a practical example from one of our projects, we introduced a full-fledged VR onboarding induction training program for one of the big banks here in Bulgaria. And our KPIs for the last years are that between 400 to 600 people are getting through the onboarding program. And it's again mixing gamification with all the other benefits of VR. So this is one example of how the industry embraces it. Also for another bank, we are doing talent attraction projects. And for the pharmaceutical industry, we are helping the pharma companies to improve their communication from their so-called HCPs, healthcare professionals, either the medical representatives or the brand managers, in order to communicate better the mode of action of different medicines to doctors. So there are a lot of other examples.
Okay, starting with something that Krasi hinted, mentioning BMW, there are other automotive companies, aircraft companies. Just maybe to get a little bit more specific in that, BMW, using Omniverse, as Krasi mentioned, has created a digital twin of whole factory, simulating every process there before building the factory, as an example. And going specifically to Bulgaria, and currently what we see is that in the cultural sector, there is a lot of interest in the application of XR technologies. Museums are getting more and more aware of the use and benefits of such technologies. Artists too, for different kinds of events, exhibitions, to combine XR with other technologies. So this is becoming a little bit more general, and coming back to Jason Huang's from NVIDIA's line that Krasi quoted about XR being an interface. I'd like to say that XR is an interface not only to AI, but generally in human-computer interaction. So it has an application practically almost anywhere. The question is to find the added value. So that's important, where the benefit will lie.
Thank you. What are the key challenges in scaling immersive technologies globally, especially with regard to hardware accessibility and content development?
I think the reality is that headsets are still, from usability perspective, not amazing. I mean, it would be great if they were more like the form factor of my glasses. But also, that's very hard to accomplish from engineering and manufacturing perspective. In some areas like gaming, we see people using a common favorite company, Meta headsets quite a lot to play games and for many hours a day. So this is great. I think, for example, a product like the Apple Vision Pro is the perfect example of how you're doing something so well by also missing the mark very much, because I love it. I just, for media consumption, watching a movie on the Vision Pro is so amazing. It's as if you're in a game, especially if it's a 3D movie. It's so immersive, it's so realistic. But at the same time, this thing is quite bulky and heavy, so you can't wear it for more than an hour. Obviously, it's very expensive, so I wouldn't buy it to watch movies. Then what about my family? I have to buy 4 or 5 for everybody. So I think prices need to go down, the form factor needs to be improved. Content, I think it's getting there. There's also things to be done, but you want to add something on the content side? Okay.
Maybe the fragmentation of platforms and the lack of common standards is also hindering a little bit. Hardware from one side is getting cheaper if we compare the times when there was only the tethered VR, and it was for business purposes it was really bulky and not comfortable. So now at least with the standalones, this thing really helped us to explain better for the clients to understand better the added value and to really start using it in their business. So,
well, since Kamen didn't want to add something, which practically surprised me a little bit, as it seems you're mostly in that area. I think that regarding standards and tools, we're getting very much better with OpenXR, WebXR that you practically mentioned a little earlier. Content also, form factors getting better prices, we'll see. But speaking from enterprise and usability perspective, maybe still a price is one of the hindrances when a large company wants to deploy to a lot of areas and a lot of people, then this becomes harder. By the way, I've seen a prototype, I think it was by NVIDIA, where they call them holographic glasses, which were ½ centimeter or even thinner than that. Of course, this is only prototype technology. We'll see where this leads us to, but things are definitely getting better.
Kind of connected to, yes, the optimistic note right there. What are the key milestones that we need to see in the immersive technologies progress so it becomes mainstream?
Well, actually, Kamen again mentioned something about the avatars. So, yeah. Thanks. One of the things is people would require more personalization, at the same time more standardization, in order for things to work more globally and to be able to interface with each other, different platforms, different headsets. This would definitely help.
Yes, standardization is the main thing here, because before VR and the immersive technologies in general, I have been working in the telecommunication industry for many years, and we had the very same type of issues there, with a lot of different companies trying to take a piece of the pie, trying to put their own standards and to change how things work together. And yeah, it took a long time, but then now everybody is using voice over IP without even realizing that. It's everywhere, including in our smartphones. I would say it's much more widely used than regular phone calls. So the same thing could eventually happen with VR and XR as well in general. The main standard that needs to improve is called OpenXR. It's in development for, I don't know, maybe 7-8 years now. It has very good intentions. It has very good ideas behind it, but still a lot of things are done vendor specific. Again, I'm looking at Meta.